is celebrated as Constitution Day, that is Samvidhana Divas, to commemorate the adoption of the Indian Constitution by the Constituent Assembly. The Constituent Assembly of the country formally adopted the Constitution on 26th November 1949, which came into force on 26th Jan 1950. In 2015, on 125th birth anniversary of Dr. Babasaheb Bhimrao Ambedkar, the Union government announced November 26 as Constitution Day. The aim of celebrating this Constitution Day was to encourage people to follow the constitutional values in their lives.
Most respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, I feel very proud to be a part of this program, and it is an immense pleasure to me that to welcome dignitaries on the dais. Dr. Subhash Chandra Rathod is an advocate practicing at the High Court of Karnataka. Earlier, he served as a civil judge for 6 years, and after voluntary retirement, he is practicing as an advocate. And he also worked as guest faculty in GK Law College, Hubli. He accepted our invitation and came here to deliver a lecture on the Indian Constitution.
Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir and Dr. Subhash Chandra Rathod ji, Chief Guest, Dr. Kumkandi, and all the teachers and students. We the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation.
I know that giving lecture on the Indian Constitution is not an easy task. Also, I am aware about the fact that we have no that much time to discuss in length the provisions of the Indian Constitution. Already, we have read the preamble of the Constitution, wherein I am focusing and taking this opportunity to discuss what is the concept of justice that we have intended to provide and types of justice. Then I proceed further. During these days, after adopting this Constitution, have we able to provide the justice? If so, then to what extent? If not, then why? And what are the hurdles in achieving the objects of Indian Constitution? With this, we start with the concept of Constitution. As we all know that demand for the establishing or forming a Constituent Assembly started way back in the year 1935 and ended on 26th November 1949. On that day, we have adopted the Constitution, and the object of very celebrating this Constitutional Day is of twofold. First, to know the history, then understand what is happening in reality and formulate future plan. That is the intention of the legislatures, wherein we have started saying that we the people of India have adopted this constitution. Second part reads that with an intention to provide or secure justice to all its citizens. That is, justice is of three types, where it is mentioned in the preamble itself. First one is social, economic, and third one is political. Now, I will start giving some of the provisions, referring some of the provisions and examples, how the constitution has to be made applicable in the practice, and what are the hurdles. Then, what are the possible solutions to achieve the objects provided or achieve the goal provided under the Indian Constitution. The framers of the Constitution have very specifically mentioned in the preamble itself that we the people of India, not it is parliament or the state legislatures, we the people of India indicates each one of the citizen, each one citizen of the India. We have so many responsibilities. Some of us may say that we are not the state, we are not the authority having power to implement or enforce the provisions of the Constitution or any other law. But when we study the entire objects and scheme of the Indian Constitution, we may come to know that we have also some responsibilities. The Constitution and other allied laws provide some of the responsibility on the each citizen. Wherein Part 3 of the Indian Constitution provides regarding fundamental rights. We are very well aware about it. First one is equality before law and equal protection of law. Second one is no discrimination on the basis of race, caste, religion, place of birth, etc. Again, there are certain exceptions. Then equal opportunity has to be provided to every citizen in their government appointments, including educations, etc. Can we expect from the society that equality before law and equal protection of a law, security, equal justice, we are talking so many aspects. When we think about practical aspect, it is a very difficult task. Academically, we will feel that yes, this is the goal, this is the law, and this is the object. But when we go practice or implementing the law, we may face so many problems because of lack of knowledge. I am not going to discuss about the history because everyone is aware about the historical background of the Constitution. We have talked about three kinds of justice wherein preamble talks about. First one is social justice. The question is, already we have studied that what is concept of justice. It is in simple sense absence of arbitrariness. Then what is concept of social justice? Social justice means the absence of socially privileged classes in the society and no discrimination against any citizen on the ground of caste, creed, color, religion, gender or place of birth. But what happens in practice? What's happening in practice? We are studying so many rules, regulations which favors to one gender and opposed to another gender, or provides protection to particular gender and fails to provide the protection to the another gender. The law speaks that there should be no discrimination. The concept of social justice is that no discrimination. But Article 14, Clause 3, 4, when we read these aspects, goes contrary to the Article 14. Article 14 speaks equality before law, but Article 15, subclause speaks that and gives special power to the parliament and legislature to enact special laws for the welfare upliftment of women and child, educationally backward people, economically backward people, etc. When the object of this provision is to bring equality among all. To bring equality among all. Therefore, there are special provisions. Now, there is a demand for enacting a gender neutral laws. What is gender neutral laws? For example, there is an enactment called Protection of Women from Domestic Violence, which was enacted in the year 2005. It provides protection to women, not men, from domestic violence. Now we are seeing the incident where men are subjected for clarity or domestic violence. Where to go? Which law provides protection to them? On this aspect we have to think and provide new legislation to protect all the gender without discrimination. When we say the Article 14 and Article 15, no doubt it's a good, it is a welcomed aspect that the state can make the special laws for the protection of women and child or educational socially backward people. But at the same time, we shouldn't ignore that sometimes men may be subjected to cruelty by women. Under that circumstances, I have got mentioned that law is an instrument to bring changes. And what is the object? The object of law is to provide justice, maintain peace in the society. Next aspect, that is economic justice. We have talked about economic justice. What is meaning of economic justice? Economic justice means equitable distribution of wealth. Equitable distribution of wealth. Here, state have enacted many laws and formulated rules. Supposing, for example, taxation laws, land ceiling laws, wealth limit laws, property limit laws, we can say another way, property limit laws, ceiling acts. I will share one of the example how the state is working in reality to provide the economic justice. In the year 1974, state enacted Land Ceiling Act and Tenancy Laws, wherein two aspects with the two objects. One is to provide land to the person who is not having agricultural land, and second one is to put limit on a holding of a land. In our village itself, a person was holding 110 acre land. 110 acre land. According to land ceiling limits, one family is permitted to hold land 54 acres, if I am correct. And if this happens, whether it is possible to provide equal justice to all as intended by the Constitution, this is the question before us. Every one of us should think, because we are also having some duty, fundamental duties, wherein each citizen is bound to protect interest of our nation, work for the welfare of our nation. These are the two examples, wherein first one is old age pension, second one is land ceiling limits. If this kind system is going on, if this is the reality happening, then it is possible that by conducting this kind of seminars or writing papers or making any changes in the law, can we achieve the object? This is the question before us. Definitely, the answer will be no. We can't. Not 75 years. Another 200 years, we will be not able to reach the goals of the Constitution. Therefore, whenever anything illegal activity happens before us, we should come front side and ready to report before the concerned authority and even filing a complaint or giving an application. Otherwise, what happens? Otherwise, the constitution mechanisms, what are the, we can say legislature, executive, judiciary, ultimately they will fail and everybody will cry for justice. Everybody will cry for justice. We shouldn't permit, or we shouldn't see, or we shouldn't give opportunity for situations, such situations. Therefore, my humble request is that whenever such kind of illegal activity happens or comes to our knowledge, we should report to the concerned authority without any hesitation. Then it is possible to provide or achieve the objects of the Indian Constitution. Next aspect, which deals about the political justice. This is the era where, that is the area where we have to, everyone think not only once or twice till our end of our life, because everybody is aware about the fact that how the democracy is working, what the Constitution intended, what the Constitution provides for. The democracy, the true life of the democracy is free and fair election. We say free and fair, it is a simple task. It is a very simple word to say it. But what happens in reality? What's happening in reality? How the election system is going on? How the electoral mechanisms are working? We should, being a literate, educated person, we should think over these kind of aspects. These aspects are social evils. Corruption, malpractice in the electoral system. Otherwise, we only the democracy and the principles of democracy we may read and see in the books and not in reality. Therefore, here political justice indicates that free and fair opportunities to the people for the participation in the political process. If this is the situation, we certainly draw a conclusion saying that the system is totally different than what the law is expecting or what the Constitution is intended. Therefore, the ultimate effort from the at least educated persons who are concerned about the society, should think about the future of nation. Otherwise, honest people will not get place in this world. Equality of opportunity in employment. Equality of opportunity in employment. And what is happening in the employment appointment process, you are all aware about the fact that the corruption is playing a dominant role. When this being the fact, or this system is permitted to continue, whether we can expect that the youngsters or the honest person will get the job and serve the society, it is difficult. And wherein the part 4 provides that while framing a policy, state has to follow certain principles, and one of the principles is that one of the guarantee or a right which granted is that a right to work, wherein part 3 deals about right to life and part 4 deals about a right to work, and mandates the state to provide employment in case of unemployment. Provide employment to the needy in case of unemployment. But this is not happening due to use of technology and science. I will give an example how the system is making youngsters to remain unemployed. For example, when you talk about the industrial laws, Industrial Dispute Act or any other law for that matter, they provide certain limits of a number of a person should work in a particular establishment, then only the law will apply. This is the intention of the Constitution. It mandates that the state shall provide employment in case of unemployment. Therefore, the concept of NREGA, you are all aware about the system, how the NREGA systems are working.
We are celebrating this Constitution Day. It is the 26th of November is the Constitution Day, but because of Sunday, that is the holiday, we are celebrating this today. So the Constitution of India, this our preamble, is read by our Professor Shanivir. You have seen what is provided in the preamble. This cannot be, the preamble of the Constitution should not be disturbed while amending the Constitution. there is a provision to amend the constitution, but that should not affect the preamble of the constitution. That is, there is. So this has given and it has expressed everything what to do, what not to do. And everyone should aware about the law. Everyone should aware about the constitution. That's why today we have invited the eminent person in the law field. That is students, first particularly, wherever can they serve the people. So that is, they are accumulating the property, wealth, everything, and there is no end to the greediness. So that is destroying. That's why we should work aware, make aware about the people